You really cannot even make this up. Ethereum right now is around 8-9% away from breaking all-time high. While that's happening, Cardano is around 281% away from all-time high. What is going on there? Here's what you can't make up. Last cycle, it was first week of January 2021, Ethereum was around 6.5% from breaking all-time high. And in that first week of January 2021, guess what? Cardano was around 261% from breaking all-time high. The sentiment on altcoins back then, probably very similar to the sentiment on altcoins like Cardano right now. And I'm seeing it in the comments. Cardano was the worst play. Altcoins, just, they're not doing it. It's a Bitcoin Ethereum cycle. Guess what? What is playing out right now in these charts, just completely data-driven. This isn't even bias. This isn't emotion. This is data-driven. This is exactly what happened last cycle. So I want to dig into this data. I want to look at the altcoin chart versus Ethereum. You see it here on the monthly. And I want to break down what is going on right now, why I remain insanely bullish on altcoins like Cardano. So please hit the subscribe and like on the way in. If you're not in our intelligence system, please get in there, check out our risk models, use our exit planner, start strategizing with our autonomous AI that's back there, start planning your exits, take profits. Do not round trip this bull cycle. I've seen it happen too often. I've done it myself. So we have a 7-day free trial right now. You can go try us out. All right. Before we dive into this what's going on with Ethereum and altcoins right now, and I even want to look at the altcoin price action or the Ethereum price action right now, it is like getting very close to breaking all-time high. I want to start with, I think, what's important. Bitcoin dominance. We are waiting for a Bitcoin dominance capitulation. We've gotten a nice fall, and we have really beginning signs of what we've been talking about on this channel, and that is breaking below the 50-week moving average. But it's not only, that first breaking close below the 50 that we got, it's what happens in this next week. And now we're in that week, and there's 5 days, 9 hours left of the week. The reason why that's important is we broke the 50-week back here. Remember this altcoin season fake out? And the very next week, Bitcoin dominance pumped. We saw basic support at the 50-week moving average. So let's see if this starts trending down towards this lower trend line. This is a structured setup, a multi-year structured setup, really, because this is going back to like almost a multi-year. This is September 2000. It's like August, September 2023 back here even. If we start breaking below that area, man, that's a very nice altcoin season indicator. And there's going to be many altcoin season indicators. The reason I bring that up is because, look, Bitcoin dominance falling away from these moving averages last cycle, falling below this trend line, completely different structure back then, but there's this trend line here, Bitcoin dominance falling below it. So this area, this lower trend line area, it's like a 58.5% or so. This is big, for Bitcoin dominance. And what happens there will be very telling. So that's Bitcoin dominance. Now, let me really hone in on what's going on with altcoins. And we're going to use, obviously, Ethereum as just a foundational data point. Here's altcoins versus Ethereum. There have just been for months failing against Ethereum. But the move is so similar right now to here. And I might be crazy because I'm not like some big Ethereum holder. I'm just rooting for Ethereum. I'm rooting for Ethereum. I think like I've never rooted for Ethereum before. This breakout, I want to see happen. And I do not even mind if the altcoins like Cardano even continue to fail against Ethereum in the short term. So let me explain why that is. So as context, this is the total crypto market cap excluding Bitcoin. Ethereum is in here, very close to breaking all-time highs, 8% or so. Here's everything excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum. So this is altcoins. Again, this is just over 9% away from breaking all-time highs. The breakout moment into a bull market is still kind of ahead of us. It has not happened yet. I know we feel like, man, we're getting some green candles, even looking at Ethereum charts, like, wow, it's up a lot. It might be over soon. No, this is the beginning of the move, okay? And this is the beginning of altcoin season. And we can illustrate this very simply. I mentioned this briefly yesterday. We're barely in overbought. When Ethereum was getting ready to break all-time high last cycle, it was topping out and overbought on the RSI and still had an incredible move ahead with bearish divergence all along on the weekly chart. So there is incredible upside on the weekly chart for Ethereum. But what I want to make a note of is this. We start looking at Ethereum chart, and then we take that and we look at it on the altcoin data. So what I mean by that is January 2021, here's Ethereum getting ready to break all-time high going into February 2021. This move, the beginning of the move, is kind of where we are right now. So if we go look at the altcoin chart versus Ethereum, we are very simply kind of like right here. And this is a monthly chart. Let me take it to a weekly because it kind of even illustrates it even better, because we are digging into kind of that like first week of January on the Ethereum chart, right? So first week of January on the Ethereum chart is here on the altcoin versus Ethereum chart. And you can just see there's some little sideways and volatility, big wick to the downside, but then it was February, altcoins started just gaining traction and outpacing Ethereum, right? And this is what it looked like back last cycle. And this is very potentially what's getting ready to happen now. We could go down further. Ethereum can outpace altcoins further, maybe to the downside, sideways for a month, further down, I don't know. And then all of a sudden altcoins catch up. This is exactly what happened last cycle. Now, whether or not it repeats, nobody knows, but you can't not focus on that data and pay attention to that data. It's crazy to me that I get so many, and I don't want to spotlight negativity, everybody, but as a content creator, I'm absorbing these comments nonstop. I try and go see what y'all are saying in the comments to interact, and it's so many times insanely negative. Like, Dan, you should have just, you're misleading your people, can't believe you, people believed in you, how are you just shilling Cardano, or even Dog or something like that? How are you doing that? You should have just put it in Ethereum, because look, Ethereum's outpacing everything. Everybody, this is not nothing. This is not something new. This is what happens. I don't know if a lot of those people, it's their first cycle, but if you've been in these cycles, this has been the story. Here's what makes it more powerful this cycle. Look at Ethereum inflows on their ETF. BlackRock alone, 639 million yesterday. A total of $1 billion across all firms. $1 billion ETF inflow yesterday. And you might be like, well, that's Ethereum. That's not altcoins. Do you realize that there are a ton of altcoin ETFs that are in play, just waiting to be approved? Do you realize that it's not just Ethereum that institutions are interested in? It's altcoins, everybody. So not only do we have very simple charting data that is just setting up incredibly similar to last cycle. And I should mention this. In terms of how low altcoins are versus Ethereum, we're actually in a higher low right now on altcoins versus Ethereum. But institutions are getting ready, everybody. They really are. And this is not something we had last cycle. I think the possibility of an explosion that just shocks everybody is just very in play. I won't speak in certainties and say that's going to happen, but the ingredients here, especially as it aligns with how sentiment is right now, the ingredients for what could actually happen is crazy. And I'm talking about, just as one example, the speed in which Cardano can finally have a breakout and go towards all-time high and break all-time high, I think will shock a lot of people. And I won't be surprised by it. And that's not just Cardano, that's other altcoins as well. I think it could shock a lot of people. Look at this move. This is a weekly chart. This is very fast. If we look at the Ethereum risk model, I want to mention this again because this is becoming something I'm tracking. Our risk models, our members are back there right now. They're planning exits in our exit planner. You can go back there, use our risk models, set alerts. Dude, when we get 77, alert me so I can start taking profits. 85, 90, 100. That's one incredibly useful tool, but I've been kind of on the Ethereum risk model. I've mentioned this. I'm using it kind of as an indicator right now, which is kind of cool to use it as a technical analysis indicator. And we're sitting at a 58 risk score. I should mention that's a pre-bull market risk score. Ethereum has not made the move yet. That's clear on an Ethereum chart, right? We work our way up to breaking all-time high, but this massive parabolic run hadn't happened yet. This is where we are right now. We're working our way up into all-time high, but a massive breakout has not happened yet. $10,000 Ethereum could be closer than people realize. But notice the risk model, 58. And if we go back again into this pre-bull market area, this is December 2021, right before January, 52, right? 56, 59, getting ready to go into January, and then boom, cruising through the 60s into the 70s. This is something that happened last cycle, and it's basically something that happened 2 cycles ago. 50s, 58. Sound familiar? It's literally where we are right now. This is 2017. And then boom, break into the 60s, into the 70s. There's the bull market starting. We've seen resistance at this level on this risk model. There's a 61 resistance, right? Here is a 58 resistance and down. We're there right now. I'm so curious to see, and I probably need to move my chart over. I am so curious to see what Ethereum does on this chart. Can we break through into the 60s, approach 70 on the risk score? That would be very telling as well. There's all these indicators that I'm watching right now for altcoins. And if you want access to the Ethereum risk model, all of our risk models that we do have back here, there's I think 38 of them right now. We have a free trial. Go try us out. So the Ethereum breakout, Ethereum breaking all-time highs, whether you hold Ethereum or not, even if your altcoin is down hundreds of percent, just know this is basically exactly how it played out last cycle. That's something I'm paying attention to. So let's continue to monitor. Right now, Ethereum breaking towards $4,400. If we go actually change this to the daily chart, look at this breakout, everybody. This is exactly what I wanted to see happen. I will have to, if this continues, do my video where I said, you all know, I said, I hope I'm wrong, but I could totally see manipulation at this level, and they start bringing Ethereum back down, at least to the moving averages, right? Or to the apex of the triangle, this multi-year triangle. And guess what? Ethereum is breaking out right now, and I'm liking it. I'm very much liking it. So let's continue to monitor and track. All that I know is I am extremely excited that I've been bullish on crypto all of this time. If you go look at the total crypto market cap, excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum, just look at this. It seems like it has been the right move to be bullish from swing lows in the bear market low, because we've had higher highs, higher lows, and the bull market move, everybody, has not even happened yet. Total crypto market cap, but this is the altcoin market cap, a 28 on the risk score. 28, everybody. So we are just getting started in my view. These are my thoughts today. Hit the subscribe, hit the like. I appreciate you. Again, get into our system. 7-day free trial. Would be grateful for you to give us a shot and to hopefully find value in what we've built. More coming too in terms of features. So I'll see you in the next video. God bless.